The doctors who treated Libby Zion the night she died had been working for 36 hours straight. They were first-year residents, physicians, so new they were still learning which drug combinations could kill. Libby Zion was 18, a freshman at Bennington College, when she arrived at New York Hospital on March 4, 1984, with a fever of 103.5 degrees Fahrenheit and an agitation she could not explain. She was taking phenelzine, a monoamine oxidase inhibitor, one of the most interaction-prone antidepressants in clinical use. The residents who admitted her did not take a complete medication history. They did not recognize the significance of the phenelzine. They prescribed me Paradine, Demerol, for her agitation. The combination of an MAOI and meperidine is among the most dangerous drug interactions known to medicine. It can trigger serotonin syndrome, a cascade of neurological and physiological events that, left untreated, is fatal. Libby developed serotonin syndrome. She died 8 hours and 24 minutes after she arrived. She was the only patient in the ER that night, whose case those residents were not primarily responsible for. She was the one who fell through. The residents admitted Libby at approximately 11 p.m. and assigned a nurse to monitor her while managing multiple other patients. The on-call attending physician the senior doctor meant to supervise had been notified by telephone but was not in the hospital. That in 1984 was standard. First-year residents in major teaching hospitals routinely worked shifts of 36 hours or more, managing dozens of patients with supervision that was largely theoretical, available by phone, not at the bedside. When Libby's agitation worsened in the early morning hours, the resident handling her case ordered restraints. Her temperature climbed. Nurses contacted the resident repeatedly. Orders included a tepid bath to reduce fever. The resident did not immediately return to the room. Her temperature reached 107 degrees Fahrenheit. By the time cardiac arrest occurred, interventions could not reverse the cascade already underway. The pathologist identified the cause as serotonin syndrome. The residents had not been taught to recognize it. The attending was unreachable. The nurse who monitored Libby later said she had raised concerns repeatedly. But the overworked residents, responsible for some 40 patients between them, could not respond to each call in real time. Libby Zion was brilliant, difficult, and funny. A young woman her father described as someone who filled every room she entered. Sidney Zion was a lawyer and a journalist with a platform he knew how to use. After his daughter's death, he used it. He wrote in the New York Times with a precision that forced the medical establishment to respond. He demanded a grand jury investigation and pursued the case for years. He did not expect criminal convictions. The grand jury found no criminally culpable negligence, but he understood that what killed Libby was not a single bad doctor or poor judgment. What killed her was a system designed to rely on exhausted residents. Here is the central revelation. The fatal factor was structural. The grand jury's 1986 report established that the residents treating Libby had been awake for at least 18 hours before she arrived and were responsible for roughly 40 patients between them. The attending supervised by phone from home. No single decision that night was necessarily the fatal one. The cumulative effect of fatigue, inadequate supervision, and a culture that treated sleep deprivation as a training requirement created the conditions where a preventable drug interaction became lethal. Any rested physician with a complete history and awareness of MAOI interactions likely would have caught it. The aftermath reshaped policy but not consensus. In 1989, New York State enacted the Libby Zion Law, the first U.S. regulation to limit resident work hours, capping shifts and setting an 80-hour weekly maximum in state hospitals. The Accreditation Council for Graduate Medical Education adopted a similar 80-hour standard nationwide in 2003. Research on the law's effects is mixed. Some studies indicate improved patient outcomes. Others point to risks introduced by increased handoffs and continuity gaps. Sidney Zion settled a civil malpractice suit for an undisclosed sum and continued to write about patient safety until his death in 2009. No physician who treated Libby was criminally convicted. The hospital stayed open. The training program continued. Today, residents still report routinely working beyond mandated limits, and a culture that valorizes exhaustion persists in many programs. The question Libby's case leaves open is urgent and immediate. How many dangerous drug interactions occur tonight in hospitals where the resident on call has been awake since yesterday? Subscribe to Case Files TV because Libby Zion's name is on the law, and the law still has limits.